Hey, welcome to another episode of Uncle Ricky's House. And look, I just got one question. And I mean, don't get mad at me for asking a question, but look, all you Republicans out there that know you, even if you're that's left that even kind of still like me, but look, aren't y'all tired of winning? I mean, actually losing, because I know y'all live in that alternative universe thing where, you know, you have alternative truth and, well, basically whatever your version of the situation is, that's what you want to be the truth, even if it is, and you are full of dog doo-doo. But moving right along, these past couple of weeks, I mean, even maybe you're following the path of your, you know, of your god, of your icon, of your demagogue, you know, Donald John Trump, the former president of the United States, actually the 45th president, and he actually wants to be the 47th, but I don't think the majority of Americans can stand his ass enough to give him 4 more years in the White House. They're just waiting for, you know, when the real election, the general presidential election rolls around, to actually show him on paper or maybe in digits or however they show him. If it doesn't come out the way that he wants it to come out, and that's for him winning, he's going to declare that it was fixed, rigged, you know, that it was all a fraud. He hasn't stopped saying it about the last election that he lost, and he hasn't stopped saying it about the midterm elections where he says all of his candidates won, but I think it was all but 2 of the people that he endorsed actually won. The Republicans lost. It was supposed to be a red wave, and they lost. They lost seats in the Congress because they were supposed to win by 50, 60 seats. They only have, like maybe a 7-seat margin, and they're not even sure about all that. The Senate, they were supposed to, you know, 10, 12 senators ahead. It's the Democrats by one. It's not supposed to be like that. We were supposed to be as red as the Chinese Communist flag, but it didn't happen that way. Now, that's just a progression of losses, a chronological thing. We're still recovering from the so-called tariffs. We haven't really. I mean, we're still dealing with the tariffs that Trump imposed on China. You know, that type thing. And the division that he caused in the country, that, you know, where it's okay to be a racist. Speaking where it's okay to be a racist, it appears that they did not get that memo in Montgomery, Alabama. Look, I don't condone violence, but sometimes some things are just doomed to happen when, like they say, you know, F around and find out. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All the black man was trying to do was do his job. He wasn't trying to steal the boat. He wasn't trying to wreck the boat. All he wanted to do was pull it up 3 more feet so that the tour boat could get in. And these people knew when they left the boat there that it wasn't supposed to be there. They heard the people on the riverboat asking them, please move the boat so we can get in and get off. We want to go home, do whatever, you know. Some of us got things to do. But no, they wanted to be ignorant, and I'm not going to get racial with it, but it was the optics will serve to, you know, fill your mind with whatever, you know, stereotype you want to attach yourself to. But it was just ignorant the way they treated, first of all, the young attendant. They just manhandled him out of the way. Get out of the way, boy. You don't even count. You're not even old enough to shave. Why am I talking to you? But then when the co-captain, and you know, it was kind of funny because the media, when they first started talking about it, they tried to act like he was a security guard, you know. Okay, I mean, if he was a security guard, hooray for him, he did his job. But this guy was the co-captain. He was the first mate on the damn riverboat. So when he arrived to the pier and got off, and it should have indicated to the people on the boat that it meant something, but they weren't. You know, we don't, you know, we tried this in a small town. You tried it, and they showed you how a small town really ain't like what you thought it was. And like I said, I don't condone violence, but it's going to take a long time to get folding chairs out of our memories. because that just, I mean, it's right up there. It's right up there with Daniel Boone's rifle right now in my mind. You know, America's a strange place, and people in America are strange. But right is right and wrong is wrong, and that day, wrong got served. But now, let's get back to the, just general Republican election fuckery. Ron DeSantis is, I don't want to say he's a disappointment, because then that makes it seem like, he has relevance as a human being. But he is not performing up to the expectations of many. And I was one of the ones, not saying that I'm a DeSantis fan, but out of all the Republicans, I thought DeSantis would be the one to topple Donald John Trump. But obviously I was wrong about that, because right now, Ron DeSantis can't even tie his own shoe without getting in trouble. But that's because he has done so much outright evil. And one thing about DeSantis is that makes him different from Trump. Trump believes in certain things, but Trump's whole thing is about money. He wants power to bring him money. It's not about money making him powerful. With DeSantis wants power for the sake of power. He wants power so he can crush people and sit there and laugh at them while their bones creak under the weight of whatever murderous machine he has invented. He's like a Miguelito Loveless on Wild Wild West. He's like that kid that becomes, a serial killer. When you first caught him pulling the wings off of flies in the backyard, or you can't keep a cat for some reason because guess what? All the cats in the neighborhood are now buried in Tommy's backyard or Ronnie's backyard. But anyway, when you graduate, and move through the world and find a reason to hate this and that for real, not just to make money off of it, and you finally achieve power, sometimes you go mad. What do they say about absolute power? Well, Ron DeSantis was an absolute example of what happens when you get absolute power, or what you perceive to be absolute power. You go fucking batshit. And he is driving Florida, the state of Florida, into the ground. And this is just a preview, and I think Americans are smart enough to see that it's a preview of what DeSantis wants to do to the whole country. And the whole United States does not want to become the state of Florida. It's just that simple. Now, is there an answer? Is there a way out? Is there a back door? Is there an emergency chute, like the one that fell out of the plane flying over Chicago? What is the answer? Well, the answer is no single answer. It's a multi-stage thing. And the first thing we have to do is, I'm sorry, but the number one clear and present danger to the United States right now is Donald John Trump. We have to put Donald John Trump, and I hate to say it, we have to make sure that we try him fairly. That does not mean that we have to wait 16 years until he dies to have his first trial. It just means that we have to be sure to dot all our I's and cross all our T's, because his lawyers are going to continue to throw shit at the wall until a jury finds him guilty. And I'm not saying that, that's 100% probability, but it's probably going to happen. I mean, the evidence, there's no way he's going to walk away from all of these charges in all of these cases in all of these districts on the federal and state level. Something is going to get him. And at his age, any one of those charges, or any combination of two or more of the minor charges, he's done. If they decide to really send him to jail, which he's not running his mouth, threatening judges, threatening prosecutors, openly threatening, and having people, the FBI just shot some guy in Utah because he threatened to kill Biden, because Biden is in Utah today, I believe. And they went to bag him up, put him under quarantine while Biden was in Utah. Guy was not having it. It turned in, it escalated, and now you got a dead guy. But everything about him is Trump, Trump, Trump. So I mean, you can't say that the Trump's rhetoric isn't influencing people. It's not the first time. They had the mad bomber, the chick that got shot in the insurrection on January the 6th from California. She was an avid Ashley Babbitt. She was an avid Trump supporter. The words of Trump rang through her, rang through her ears and out of her mouth like a South Carolina Baptist quoting the New Testament. It's crazy, man, and I don't know. I think the country's ready for it. I think actually the country can handle it. It's just that can the people handle with the aftermath? Because it's gonna be nasty. Shit is going to happen that you didn't think that Americans could do to Americans. But we've already done it before. It's just that people forget about history, and maybe if a little bit more history was remembered instead of being changed, like saying that slavery was valuable to the futures of some slaves, that they used it to make a difference in their life. Of course they used the skills that they learned to survive, but that doesn't mean that the method that was used to teach it to them was that great. And that was out of all the millions of slaves that were enslaved in the United States, the people that went out and became master carpenters and blacksmiths and made decent livings with the skills they learned as a slave was a small handful. So the percentages don't even make it worth mentioning that slavery was an abhorrent system. And black people were the most enslaved persons in the history of the United States. And we got to come to grips with that sooner or later. But until we do, all this other crazy mess, it's going to continue to happen. These situations feed off of each other because for some reason people cannot get up the backbone to take it one at a time and work it out and come to a final solution. And let the people live with it. Well, that's it for me. This is Uncle Ricky. Y'all can think about it, meditate on it. Get back to me. Hey, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the comment, type a few words, let me know how you feel, even if you don't feel what I'm saying. I'd like to know. And if you really feel froggy, you go down there and hit the super thanks button, $ thanks, and see the little bar graph. It starts at 2. I wish they had a 1 on it, because I feel like some of y'all would give me a 1, but it starts at 2. You can slide it up if you want to, but I would appreciate it if you just stuck it at 2 and put it on the old card and hit me up with a couple bucks every now and then. But until the next time, and next time might be any Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I do Uncle Ricky's Live on YouTube. But until the next time, whenever that is, peace out, and as always, God bless from Uncle Ricky at Uncle Ricky's house.